Well, I did do Holy Cow, and it will be in the second portion of the video. That will be my outdoor video I did of more memories, which I may not have many more, of more memories of Ottumwa, Iowa, my memories. I had other ones actually planned too. I actually had several planned of these that I was going to do of different, parts of Ottumwa and my memories, of living in a neighborhood or whatever it may be. Now, as you see at the beginning of the video, I was talking, about the SSDI, that I have been cut off and all that. Yeah, that's actually true. It's a clusterfuck. It's literally a clusterfuck in and of itself. And, I don't want to put blame on anybody, Joe Biden, Dementia Joe, whatever, or Social Security office, or anything of this nature. Maybe they're just following rules. But you know what? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense that they like to punish people
for being honest, too.
For being honest and for getting married. How many months has we been married? About 9?
Yeah. Going on 10 months.
So going on 10 months, there's this rule they have that they won't cut off somebody from SSDI in like at the beginning. They'll give like a little bitty grace period, like 9 months.
Even with working.
Even with working.
I didn't even know they give you that long for working.
I don't know. This don't make sense. But if you marry somebody, yeah, you gotta next time you want to think about getting married and you have
someone else is disabled.
I guess you marry somebody that's disabled. If they're working, go no, can't do that. I can't marry you. It needs to be somebody that's just disabled. No.
You gotta ask them on the dates if they're disabled. I guess.
I guess that's one of the questions you ask when you go on a date with somebody. Good Lord. Listen, I knew consequences when me and my then fiance, when we were talking about getting married. I didn't care about the consequences. I figured the consequences wouldn't be this severe. I didn't care about the consequences. I figured, okay, they'll probably cut my check $100 or $200. Fine, so be it. I don't care. So I thought, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Out. Take your insurance, everything.
And not only that, how am I going to pay for, I guess at the end of June, I'm being cut off from my Medicare benefits too, which is probably even worse than being cut off from SSDI. So now I don't have any way to pay for my seizure medication. So, and you know what? I've actually have thought about this before because I know the government does have a tendency, and they've been wanting to do this for a while, to cut Medicare programs. They've been wanting
already on a different program.
They've been wanting to do that, and I have thought about this in the past quite a bit, even before Trump. I've even thought about this in the past about, smoking weed. Hey, you got to think of alternatives. So if I have to,
legal. You can get a medical card here in Iowa too.
And I can get a medical card here in Iowa pretty easy. So I have thought about that.
CBD too.
CBD's another option. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, and that's coming really quick because my medical is going to be totally cut off in June anyway, and the medical here in Iowa is actually a joke. Really it is, because they won't even cover my glasses unless it's contacts or bifocals.
That's horrible.
So the medical program here is sort of a joke anyway. So.
They want you to be blind?
Well, pretty much. They want you to be blind and broke. They want you to be homeless.
Unless you're a meth head.
Unless you're a meth head or a drunk. Yep. That's the sad part about SSI and SSDI is if you're a drunk, a recovering alcoholic, a crackhead, you can get on it pretty easily. Now, we are in the middle of the month. We're in the middle of the month. I did not know that when I was paying all the bills this month, like the electric and the cooking gas and the internet and the rent and then getting food for
at
least 3 weeks, and bought a new fan, so I didn't even know about that yet. And then I bought 48 batteries for my controller. So I didn't know at the middle of the month that SSI was going to lay a bomb on me and saying you are completely cut off. So on top of this, we're in the middle of the month. No doubt about it, we are in the middle of the month, and we have 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks, to figure out, with no money, mind you, no money, to figure out what we're going to do with all our shit in our apartment.
And where we're going to live, which will be under a random bridge.
And where are we going to live? It's like the Billy Ray Cyrus song, where am I going to live when I get home? But we don't have a home.
It'd be nice if people that owed me money would start paying me back.
Yeah, no shit. Hi, Randy. Oh, anyway.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. So, here we are, pretty much. This is what's going on, pretty much with freaking Joe Biden administration. But you know what? Don't want to talk about that.
Well, Dan don't technically owe me money. That's a whole other story.
That's a other story. So, I might have a period of time. You may not hear of a video from me at all.
You might not be on any social media. No way to charge phones if you're
No,
homeless.
because I won't have no way to charge a phone. And what? Just a cow? Yes, you're going to be homeless too. We're all going to be homeless. All of us. All of us are going to be
Just
homeless.
a cow safe. He'll go with us.
Yeah, just a cow safe. He always goes with me no matter where we go. He's always been there for me. He's always been there for me. So just a cow? Well, he'll always be on the videos, no matter where we are, whether it might be under a bridge or like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at a sewer. So we'll be somewhere, don't know where, but we'll be somewhere. And it's not been a fun day. It's not been a fun day. I tried to do a video. It was not one of my best videos, but I'm very critical of my videos, especially my outdoor videos. I could have done better. Sure, I can always do better. I'm very critical of my videos. But I'm playing this as the intro, and well, go ahead and enjoy my portion of the outdoor videos. I do repeat somewhat, but not a lot. I do repeat what I said here in the beginning, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we know one thing.
We'll be together.
We'll be together, and I know Social Security office don't like people getting married because they like to punish them, and I guess I'm...
Well, there's some programs that if you might stress out one program, people to really reconsider it. They might want to do like a ceremony without it being legal.
Yeah, just do a ceremony without being legal. But you know what? I don't regret getting married.
No, I don't either.
I don't regret getting married. And, you know, I have only one thing to say to the government, and it's this. Well, enjoy the outdoor portion of my video. Holy cow! Welcome to Donnie's Hangout Adventures. I plan to do a video today, still do, to get my mind off of it because I got some horrific news from the Social Security office saying that I owe $9,000 ever since I got married, which was in August of last year. And so because I owe $9,000, I'm now cut off as of, I think they said August this year. Sounds crooked to me. Sounds like some shady dealings going on in the back room of the Social Security offices. I have no idea what's going on. It's not like I can go out and get a job. That's theoretically impossible with me, you know, for years having epilepsy seizures. And there really isn't no places that are going to hire anybody with epilepsy and not having any steady work for like the last 23 years. Or 22, about 22 years since I've actually have held any kind of a job. So I have that on my mind. So if my videos aren't up to snuff like they usually are, it's because I'm trying to figure out what the hell me and my wife are going to do What are we going to do? How are we going to eat? Where are we going to live? And etc. So until I figure this out, my mind may not, these videos may not be the best, but guess what? I'll give it a shot. And I'm doing more memories, more of my memories of me being a ottumwa growing up. And I'm going to show you where I lived when I went to this school here. Show you where I lived. And so this, where I'm standing at, used to be a school. Used to be at school, but it's been tore down for quite a few years. And some of the remnants of it actually still remain. Not much. Not a whole lot, but some does. Well, Lincoln School. This is pretty much what is left of Lincoln School. And here's gravel. That's part of the school. I think that's where they parked and stuff. But gravel, I think it might have, yeah, but it was out front. The school was like right in here. And I remember back by that fence, there was a basketball hoop. And I actually played basketball when I lived, well, when I lived over here. I lived over this way a couple or three different times. And I'm going to show you where I lived later in the video, where I lived when I was going to Lincoln, which I only went to Lincoln in 5th grade for half a year. It was only half a year because I really wanted to be at Wilson, where all my schoolmates were, where all my friends were. I didn't know hardly anybody in Lincoln, and I had a tough time making any friends when I was at Lincoln, because Lincoln, I don't know, I got made fun of because my clothing was relatively poor considered to the rest of Lincoln, and they had a lot of well-to-do kids from well-to-do or rich families. That's how I always looked at it. Now this house, I lived here in high school. It's gone. This house is gone. I don't know if it had to do with the fire a few years ago, but we lived here when I was in high school. There's the steps of it. There's the steps. I'm gonna try to get up there. I'm gonna try to get up here. Okay. Okay, here's the steps of where this house used to be. No longer here, completely gone, completely in rumble. And if I remember correctly, it was a great big 2-story house. We lived downstairs, down in this area is where it was. And there was a parking, and the parking in the back right there. And there ain't nothing remaining of this place. It's completely gone. And that tree has always been, that's been a nice tree. Yeah, it was right in here, this house was. It was a pretty nice apartment. It was a 2-story apartment. We lived downstairs. I had a newspaper job. I remember this. And I had a newspaper job, and I was working for Ottumwa Courier. They wasn't paying me, so I didn't deliver the newspapers that morning. So they called, and I was house phone days, so they called, and I picked up the phone and go hello, and left the receiver off of the phone, and I wouldn't deliver said newspapers. So I quit that job, and I got paid like $30 total. I didn't get paid much. It was I had 2 newspaper jobs. Ottumwa Courier was here when I was in high school, and I had the Ottumwa Shopper too. I had that job too. I'll tell you more about that later, because I actually remember the routes for the Ottumwa Shopper, which is amazing I can remember that, considering how many years ago that has been. Nice day. Glad I brought my water. And off of Court and Maple, there's a park that's sort of sad looking. This park has always been sad looking. Anyway, there's a park. Here's the steps. Here's the steps to this said park. Now, I was living down there on Court, and even when I was living on Maple, which I will get into here in a little bit, I went over to this park. Basketball court still there. This park is pretty much unchanged. It really hasn't changed at all, if at all. And it's, you know, it's a sad looking park, but it's a nice park. I mean, it's, you know, nothing fancy like some of the other parks. Well, that ain't very nice. Lillian is a bitch. I wish I hadn't showed that on my video. That wasn't very nice, was it? The city needs to come out here and get that removed. That is not very nice. And that sort of puts a damper on this nice park, doesn't it? It puts a real damper on it. That's sad. Can't respect people's property. Continuing down Maple, across the street, there's this apartment complex. It's been there for many years. Okay, well, when I was a kid, that wasn't there. That was not there when we lived on Maple. And there was a steep, incline. Like by where that tree is, that first street, well, that tree there, no, I don't know, 1, 2, whatever. I was pushed down the hill by, we was waiting on the school bus over there. So I was pushed down the hill. I was bullied a little bit in school. I'm not going to turn this into a bullying escapade, nothing like that. It's just about childhood memories. So Mom and Grandma had a station wagon, and she was driving down here, and Mom saw me being shoved, and so she got out of the car, and she told the kid, she said, "You leave my son alone." Oh, well, that was the end of that. He was actually scared of Mom, thinking, "Oh my God, she's crazy. She's really crazy." And so, well, after that, we actually, probably out of fear, his fear, not mine, we actually became, friends, not close friends, but friends nonetheless. And I like doing this, sharing memories to get people to know the real me of my past. It's, really fun. I've been seeing for a long time, we lived over there and there was an alley. I even started to shoot some video, but then I thought the alley is gone, and I think the alley is still here, and the house has changed. Not in a good way, no. They're not even mowing grass. It's completely overrun. There was no deck when we lived here when I was a kid. The house was white. It was beautiful. There's where my bedroom was, right there. This was a duplex, and there was a couple windows there on the other side. That window there, a couple windows are gone. That window there was where my bedroom was. And right back here, I was telling Holly this back door, we were going to get a dog. And so the dog came in, and there was a basement right there, and the cat was coming up, and the dog saw the cat, and well, he ran. The dog did. Never saw that dog again. Wonder whatever happened to him. And it looks like they're trying to remodel this house, and maybe it will return to its former glory. But man, they've gotten rid of a lot of windows that used to be there. Used to be a window right there. Yep, Grandma lived over here. We lived here, 224. Yep. Wonder why I couldn't find it. And this alley goes all the way down, goes around in a circle, and goes out to the street on green. And when I was a kid, we a couple times a year, because of these woods have always been there, and the woods have actually gotten worse since I lived here when I was a kid, and that fence was never there. We didn't worry about that stuff about going under people's yard. That fence was not there, anyway. And so a couple times a year, we'd get a couple rats in the house. Yes, rats, because there was a sewer system back here in the woods somewhere. And a couple times a year, we would kill a couple rats, because one year, biological father set up a trap, and he goes, "That is the biggest mouse I have ever saw." Mom goes, that was no mouse. That was a rat. And yes, it was. And that happened a couple times a year. It's one of the reasons we ended up moving from there. But it was a nice place. Not so much now. Yeah, see, the alley would curve and would go out into, I believe it's green over there. I'm pretty sure it is. I really enjoy doing these. These are a lot of fun. You're going to notice we moved around a lot. And we've been in, being in the ottumwa you're gonna live in quite a few places, you know, just the way it is. A lot of people, you know, they stay in one place for years. Just never did. We just never did. Moved around a lot. Had a lot of different landlords. Now here on the corner up Green and Court, right there. Now that shed wasn't there. We didn't have a shed. That was a house. I don't know if it still is or not, but that was a house. My bedroom was right there. There was more windows. That used to be a bedroom. I don't know what it is now, but my bedroom was right there. 2-story house. One of the best Christmases we had there. I was dating my second girlfriend at the time. Just back when I was in high school. And I was dating my second girlfriend at the time, and it was me and her mom, her husband lived with my stepdad, my biological father, my brother was there with his girlfriend. We just had a full house that year. There, one of the few times there was no arguing. Had a great time. I never understood why when you're going up Court, and then you go this way here, and that's Court. It's North Court going up, and there's a street that's East Court. I never quite understood that. Okay, I'm not sure if it still is, but this was Samuel Earhart's place. Such a beautiful place, such a beautiful house. I don't know if it still is. Many years ago, that's where Mom and my stepdad, I call him Dad, that's where they got married. They actually got married right there. It was a beautiful place to get married. It was really nice inside, really nice inside. It used to be Samuel Earhart's office. Not sure if it still is, but it's really nice.